You got spare game codes or any digital goods? There is a place you can sell them in less than 1 minute. Watch. Go to g2a.com. Click Start Selling. Fast login. Go to My Account and click on Selling tab. Sell new item. Enter name, code, set a price. And done. G2A.com Digital Marketplace. Global selling simplified.
Yeah, yes. Now, welcome back to the last match of Group D. We had an exciting set of series here with Firebird going through in first place, and sadly Forsen falling out 0-6. Now, the last match of the group will be Thijs versus RENMEN now in the last game here. Should be interesting. RENMEN beating Forsen, but sadly losing to Firebird, and Thijs in the same position. Should be a close match, I think.
You know, RENMEN had a good game against Firebat. It wasn't a clean sweep for Firebat like we saw against Thijs. He went 3-2 in the end. So, you know, I think Thijs has his work cut out for him, and this player has shown he's very capable of winning. You said he's made some kind of interesting decisions throughout some of his series, but ultimately he's here in losers final now. He has the opportunity to join Lostov, who was the other qualifier, in the final 8 of StarLadder. So this is a big opportunity for RENMEN right now.
I think to note though is that Thijs has already beaten the freeze mates of Firebat, so he's going to be facing another freeze mate, another midlock, and a druid. So midlock and freeze mate seems to be the I guess the deck of the day here. Now, the Druid is interesting for RENMEN. It'll be interesting to see how that fares up against the Warlock. We've seen that go about 50-50 in this case. But Druid generally is quite weak against both Rogue and Warriors. I think Druid will be the most important to win with for RENMEN.
Yeah, and he actually got the win against Firebat when Firebat was playing his midlock, which we were calling it to be the bad matchup for Druid and the one Firebat should have won. So he did actually clutch out a win with that. So he's shown he has the abilities here. He just needs to give it one final little push in this last game, and he could be our qualifier. Or we have Thijs, a very top class EU player. So it's kind of a win-win here. We have the underdog, or we have the cool guy from EU coming through.
So RENMEN on the freeze mates yet again, Thijs on the midlock. Not the best matchup for the midlock, but we've seen Firebat pull through. Now the Owl I think is going to be the important card going forward. The Egg quite strong as well, but Thijs isn't getting the best start. I mean, we see Impossible even having to use. I guess he has to use the abusive on the Spectre Spider here, killing the Acolyte, but almost makes you wanna drop the Egg as well. Still, the board state is even, and you should be way ahead, Shu. A nice start for RENMEN here.
Yeah, he gets one thing Thijs has here. He has a nice clean clear on this abusive. If he didn't have the abusive there, it might have been a bit awkward for him because he doesn't want RENMEN drawing lots of cards off that Acolyte. He might have been forced to Void Terror if he or Owl if he didn't have the abusive. So it lined up pretty well, but it's a very slow start for Mitsu, like you were saying. He should have a bit more board presence by now.
Dr. Boom is decent though, and the Void Terror as well. He may have the option to both, I guess even drop the Void Terror and charge out with that Doom card on the next turn if there's no board clear. Even if we end up, I mean, the Doomsayer Frostnose has been horrible here. Drop out all the right minions for Thijs, so I'm liking Thijs' position. I mean, RENMEN doesn't have any draw, doesn't have 2 sets of board control, and he doesn't have the burst either to finish the game. So Antonidas, for example, is a horrible draw at this point. A lot of secrets, so nothing good for RENMEN at all here.
Yeah, he couldn't really utilize the Doomsayer Frostnova combo this turn just because of the Egg and the Void Caller. But if Thijs does decide to go for the Void Terror play here, the Frostnova Doomsayer will look very nice, but the Owl is just sitting in the back.
What do you think about popping the Egg? I'm not a fan of that myself. He yes has the Owl to finish off that Doomsayer, but he's kind of going all out. I would have preferred him not to pop the Egg.
Yeah, the egg is kind of like some insurance against the board clear. It gives it just gives you something if it doesn't go in your favor after these clears. But maybe he sees the Haunted Creeper as just enough to sustain his board again because he has Dr. Boom coming up.
The implosion though is almost useless here, but I've said that before. I remember probably the best game or the most exciting game that I've ever played in wasn't in a tournament. It was just in a regular practice game against Jackie, and what he did was that he dropped a Clockwork Gnome, then he used an implosion on the Clockwork Gnome in this state, I guess, where you have a Frost Gnome and Doomsayer, and he got the reversing switch out of that. So killing your own minion with implosion into reversing switch. Maybe not going to see the same thing here as that was in the Undertaker days, but a strong position for Ties nonetheless.
Yeah, you gotta have quite a good grasp of the game to even consider that as a play, and it was a lot of RNG involved, of course, but yeah, it's quite something really. But looking at this board here, Taj has a very heavy board here, lots of big minions. But I'm assuming RENMEN's hiding behind an ice block now, so he's willing to go for this Alex here and hopefully be able to burst him down with some of these spells next turn.
It's the same position as before. I mean, you know, RENMEN just realizes there's no way I'm going to stop this. I might as well go aggressive and hope to draw into something. But I mean, if this Mal'Ganis wasn't on the board, he would be looking pretty good in this game. But it seems almost impossible at this point, unless there's going to be a top deck Owl or something like that.
Yeah, he has to throw a Frostball Ice Lancer or a Fireball Ping, and then he still has Dr. Boom, the big Void Terror, and the Doom Guard to deal with, and he's not going to have enough mana to deal with him, so Taj is looking like he's going to take this game.
There's the possibility, I guess. So you Fireball Ping, drop the Ice Block, you can't even fit in the Luthor as well. But I'm thinking like possibly a second Ice Lance? Plus maybe another Frostbolt. Could technically do it, but
this Boombot,
yeah.
It's very threatening.
I mean, there's no way that he won't. The block won't be popped in this case. Or almost no way, I guess. Maybe if he goes to the Blizzard and gets really lucky, but it's a long shot.
Could he loot hoard Blizzard and just hope he doesn't draw anything that can kill him this turn? Because then the Loot Hoarder has a chance to be hit by the Boombot and he doesn't get taken out by that. He freezes the board, he doesn't deal with it straight away, but it gives him an opportunity to draw something like a Flame Strike, and he could Flame Strike, Ice Block the next turn. I don't know, it's just really awkward in general. I'm not too sure.
I like the play though. I mean, whatever RENMEN is going to end up doing, it's going to have to be a long shot for him to win this game, and the bomb does miss, the Ice Lance comes down, so everything is possible now. I mean, he'll need a good top deck on the following turn, but I mean, we'd see nothing from Ties. He gets a free tap at least with something, but it's maybe looking possible for RENMEN.
The thing is, with Midlock and Zoo, unless there's a Doom Guard, you have no real instant damage without relying on a minion on the board that can attack. So doing that play just then just does save him a turn, but he still needs to draw an answer for the Dr. Boom and the Void Terror. So a Flame Strike would actually be perfect almost. But this Argus will actually protect him against at least one of his minions against a Flame Strike. So maybe that's what Ty's just thinking here. Flame Strike is one of his only outs here.
I mean, yeah, this plays around the ping, so well done to Ties, but this is seeming possible now. What do we even have? Thalmos out? Okay. So Thalmos Frostbolt. You get a draw at least.
Ice Block, Frostbolt, the Mal'Ganis.
I mean, Frost Snow wouldn't be all bad as well. I mean, in this case.
You're like 100% relying on drawing. So you need to draw a Fireball from your Thalmos, and you need to draw a Frostbolt off the top then to win. Right.
Nova is a possibility, Blizzard is a possibility.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So there's a few things available here. I think Thijs honestly can't tap at this position, so his turn should be short.
Yeah, if he taps, he puts himself in range of Fireball. Okay, so he draws an Ice Bar. It's not what he needs. I think at this point it's definitely going to come down to a Frost Nova now, because he didn't get a Fireball or a Frostbolt off that Falnos. So the only thing that's going to keep him around is being able to freeze this board and hopefully draw into some more stuff. Oh, he gets the Fireball. So good presence of mind from Thijs there, not to tap, knowing that he would put himself in that range. So well played Thijs there. He'll take game number 1 over RENMEN, who's playing the Freeze Mage. And the Warlock's out the way here. So the Warlock is actually a good deck to take on his Druid. But he still has Patron, which is good against Druid as well. And he still has Rogue, which can struggle against Freeze Mage, but I don't think he'll worry too much about losing that game, as long as he gets some wins against the gets a win against the Druid or the Warlock.
I think in this scenario, the tough one for Thijs will be to get a win with the Rogue, and for RENMEN it'll be mostly about getting a win with the Druid. But I think everything is possible in this case. I mean, it isn't too bad. Thijs had the Warlock, which was going to be good against the Druid. It was going to be, you know, decent in the mirror as well as we. But now looking at this, from Thijs' point of view, I would like him to see the Warrior come up, but he looks like he's going to go for the Rogue. Want to finish off that hard matchup and into the Druid. So both of the, I guess, rough classes for our players left here, facing up against each other. I think this should be the most important game of the series.
Yeah, if Thijs was to win this game, he has Patron last again to deal with 3 decks, and 2 of those decks at least, the Mizu and the Druid, are going to struggle against Patron a lot. And the Freeze Mage can struggle a lot against Patron if he gets that good armor Smith Whirlwind on his board and just generates too much armor. So Thijs has probably thrown a lot on this game just to win this and make the rest of the series just so comfortable for him that it's almost impossible for him to lose.
The wildcard is coming down though, so it's not the best stuff for RENMEN, but Thijs doesn't have the coin, which is crucial. His hand is mediocre. He needs Violet Teachers, he needs that 5-drop, even a sprint. I mean, prep and sap are what you want, but you need the minions to follow it up with.
Yeah, he's a good tempo player, like Pilot to Treader into prep sap on their Pilot to Treader or their Druid of the Claw. That's going to be like kind of the big tempo play for this Rogue, but he needs to draw that card first. He needs, like I said, he needs those Azure Drakes and stuff, because these 3/3s are too vulnerable to Wrath, and they're too vulnerable to a lot of Druid's later minions, which are just kind of big bodies.
That's true here, with the heal bot, not the best card against Druid. Keeper coming down, Druid to the Claw. Think about if he top decks a Deadly Poison. And he gets the Deadly Poison, wow. There's actually a slight lag, so we didn't see that until now, but this is the perfect board for our Flurry.
That was a heart of the cards moment for you there, Caldy. You just knew it was coming.
Yeah, I wonder how it sequenced, but yeah, it was definitely like a blur, so we didn't see that. But is he looking at sap? I mean, what possible better value could he get than... Oh, I don't like this at all.
You have a really amazing clear there, and you keep your Farseer at top health as well.
He'd need to expend the coin, I guess. This isn't all bad. I mean, you can just play the Druid again next turn. It won't be a bad play. So, I don't know about this. I mean, he can't effectively clear without using the weapon anyway next turn.
Unless he backstab. Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
I mean, now I have to use,
awkward.
yeah, I guess a 3/3 minion to do the same trick. Deadly Poison, or maybe even just dropping the Power of the Shredder, which I think is probably a better play in this scenario.
Yes, he wanted to use that coin, like you said, probably to make it a bit more efficient. But he didn't deal with the 4/6, and he set himself in a position where he had to either use his weapon of 3/3. Well, no. Alright, so he's going to use the Deadly Poison and the minion now, whereas before he would have kept his minion. Unless he goes for the Blade Flurry here.
Thing is, Sap is slightly better in the late game unless something was innovated out, and there was no innovate on the Druid. I think to note as well, I mean, this is just very inefficient when it comes to the amount of damage. You aren't going to be hoping, you aren't going to be getting, I guess, a 5 or 6 minion flurry against Druid ever. The thing is, you're supposed to be ahead on the board, and you're supposed to, you know, essentially deal with 1 or 2 minions at a time. So getting 2 minions that early, having the option to draw a second flurry for the late game, having the option to sap an important minion, it's just too much. So I think in this case, I mean, the sap is just wasted.
So the prep comes down here for the Phantom Knives, which is interesting. I guess because he wants to play Dagger, clear the Drake, and then drop the Shredder. But it just, I don't know, just kind of a lackluster prep there. It has a lot of better targets, but he just wanted to go for this kind of direction of board clear.
He had to go for this though, I think. I mean, he has the heal bot, so he wants to use the resources he has to get something done. I mean, now he can technically heal bot eviscerate and keep. I mean, if he's wasting a whole sap, he needs to be ahead on board. But in this position, you know, it looks like RENMEN is a better position unless Thijs keeps on top taking all the answers he needs. But I mean, RENMEN's life total is getting low though.
Yeah, Thijs is putting on the pressure here, but RENMEN has some answers, but they're a bit slow, unfortunately. I mean, Swipe is not fantastic here, but he does get the Druid Claw taunt, so he just keeps putting up that wall. But Thijs, if you top deck something good here, a sprint would be excellent. Another sap. The Falnos is a bit meh, but I guess he does create a good clear with the SI.
I like this play though. He figures that, you know, at this point draw doesn't matter. He has an endless stream of cards, so he can just play as aggressive as possible. The mana rate might be decent here.
I mean, that's the second. That's the second of Druid Claw from RENMEN. He's just used a swipe. He's used a Wrath, and at this point, Thijs has still got a good board. He's got no cards left, but oh, the swipe off the top. That's a good draw. Is it enough though?
Looks to be enough. You can Hearthstone as well. If in any case, you have to Hearthstone first though.
The Mana Addict can be quite a scary card with Rogue because of all the spells they have, but the fortunate thing for RENMEN here is Thijs doesn't have any spells. He has nothing right now. Unless this Valnos gives him something like a sprint or a prep, and then he draws into another spell. I mean, this Mana Addict can be quite threatening if he doesn't deal with it.
Oil is nice though, and it's probably going to be it and a sap to follow it up with. This is massive. It's probably lethal actually, right?
Yep, it's lethal, and he gets the extra 4 attack on the Mana Addict as well, which is what I was saying. This is what it's quite a threatening card to drop from a Shredder when a Rogue is using it.
It's got a lot of potential, yeah. So Thijs is up 2-0 against RENMEN, looking to take this group down. I mean,
Thijs.
Yeah.
Thijs had a shaky game against Firebat. Firebat played exceptionally, and he made some excellent decisions. But since Thijs has been in losers, he's just been on a rampage. He's just smashing through everyone now. He seems to have taken that loss and thought, right, I've lost this one. I now definitely have to win. And he's been playing really well so far. So I take my hat off to Thijs at the moment. He's been showing that he's not out of this. He definitely wants this.
The more important thing is that the last deck again is going to be the Warrior, and I mean Thijs is going to be favored against the Warlock. He's going to be looking good also against the Freeze Mace, as he beat Firebat's Freeze Mace earlier with that Armor Smith combo. Now against Druid, I would say it's a favorite, but it comes a lot down to draw, execute, Death Spite, and in general just draw cards from the Warrior can be crucial. There's no wild growth from RENMEN, a lot of spells, so yeah, things not looking too good actually for RENMEN, but it might change quickly, especially if something like Dr. Boom was drawn.
The thing is, if Thijs draws a Whirlwind or a Death Spite in the next two turns, well, if he was to draw a Whirlwind or if he was to draw a Death Spite next turn, it would be really bad for RENMEN, because on turn 5 then he would have 4 patrons. You don't even need Warsong most of the time against Druid. They just can't deal with it without throwing loads of Wraths out, and Swipe becomes a really shaky card.
Nice tempo lead here from Thijs. Gets the battle rage, which should be good with this board, especially. I think he should probably attack in. Don't like using the inner rage, but I think he should battle rage here for the tempo.
Yeah, that seems like he just wants to draw the pieces, but he decides to go for the inner rage here.
I mean, what are you really getting out of that? You're killing a 2-3? I feel like it's going to be far more important to... I mean, basically you're throwing away in rage for a 2-3 or 2-2 even, which you could possibly just kill with a weapon next turn, so it does diminish the patron combo potential. I mean, you have the hero power, you have the swipe, you have so many up to deal with a 1 health minion to Druid.
He was lucky enough to draw another inner rage, so he can use that for his patron combo when he starts drawing cards, but like you said, I do agree with you there. It doesn't seem... He could clear that 2-3 next to him with an axe. It wasn't... He just made his Armorsmith more vulnerable to like all the things you said. It just didn't seem like a good idea. But he's going to get some card draw now from these cards. He's probably going to see a Wrath on the Acolyte, which kind of plays in his favor a little bit, because he does have Patron ready, but he does need to get that AoE effect. He needs a Whirlwind or Death Spite now just to be able to develop that Patron board.
It's true now. He does deny this Acolyte Pain. There's the combo in hand at least, and with something like an Emperor, this would spiral out of control. I mean, Scenario isn't the best against Druid in general. I don't know what Thijs can do. I think he may have to just wait. No Inventor is an excellent top deck though.
Just get him closer to that Whirlwind or Death Spite.
With a Luthor follow-up, that's just about perfect. There is the combo though, but RENMEN has lacked the early pressure needed to force the issue here. That deck is not bad, but still, it's getting closer and closer to that patron turn, and also has the big inventor to clear any Dr. Booms or any surprises that RENMEN might be pulling here.
It's kind of an issue having this 2-2 on board as well, because it just plays straight into the combo. So he's got another Battle Rage here if he wants it, if he ran his Gnomish into that Keeper. And could gain some armor off it if he wants, but it's probably best to save that Armorsmith.
I think so the biggest point behind that play is not to make it too obvious that he's going to be going for the combo, because if he doesn't trade into the 2-2, there's no way that he doesn't have the patron to follow that up with.
And there's the Whirlwind, so that was the last piece he really needed. But he'll have to wait an extra turn. Unless he's not going to be able to Whirlwind with the combo until turn 9. But it's not going to matter actually, because Cenarius comes down, and this is going to make a really good patron turn.
There was the option for a Harrison though last turn that RENMEN didn't go for. He's not played the Cenarius, but now with this is close to a full clear. He needed 1 more mana for that Execute to follow up, but he's going to get what, 4 patrons. There's no swipe on the board. It would be pretty important to clear the Asher Drake. It's going to have to be the scenario. There's no Whirlwind though as well, so is it possible he may need to wait 1 more turn? That's going to be risky against the combo at least.
Yeah, I'd like just going for this now, but it just puts the threat on the board. I think the thing with Harrison, like you mentioned, Harrison's a lot more value taking it a Death Spite than it does, say, a Fiery War Axe. And because if you can control when the Death Spite's Death Rattle goes off, and not let them control it, it can be quite crippling, because it could be one of the ways they're relying on getting some patrons, but it's looking really good for Thijs now. He's started to develop this this patron board, and yeah, he clears everything as well.
A swipe would be enough though, when it's mostly about how many patrons you have that have more than 1 health. Those can actually start to snowball, but there's a second patron also, so I mean, okay, let's look at the scenario though. There's a Force of Nature and a Wrath available. It won't clear everything though.
The Warsong is still a threat on its own, which is the issue here. I mean, you could clear all the patrons, but if you leave the Warsong up and another patron comes down with some Whirlwind effects, it's just you're just back in the same position you were before, but this time you don't have the removal available to you.
I think you Wrath the 3-3 and then go with the force into the war song and one of the 3-1s. I mean, 1-3-1 isn't the threat really. But then, I mean, there's also the option for Thijs to just start going desperate phase and threatening both, I guess, a patron turn and possible Gromma's execute.
He's hovering over a few things here. It is a tough turn, but I do think if you do go to the Force of Nature, you do need to hit that. Okay, so he's going. That's not too bad because these patrons aren't going to develop anymore. They're just kind of cannon fodder right now. Oh, he draws the other War Song Commander. Wow.
Not bad.
So is this a Death Spite turn then? You set up your Death Spite.
This is a passive turn here, yeah. Probably go. I kind of like running one of the Armor Smiths, one of the patrons in instead of like dropping the Armor Smith, going for one patron into the War 2. As I mean, possibility of a double combo does exist, even which is very unlikely.
Yeah, I prefer using the patron here over your weapon to clear this cat because you want to keep your health pretty high now. The druid is coming into combo range, but not only that patron's kind of done its job now on 1 health. It's so vulnerable to swipe anyway. You might as well get rid of it and just get that extra 1 damage to the Death Spite on face as well.
I think that I guess throwing the Big Game Hunter is such a sign of aggression that RENMEN may possibly just freak out and have to go full on passive. I think Harrison, yeah, clearing the whole board, this actually might stop some of the plans that Thijs has, but the problem becomes, I guess, he also has an answer for the second wave of patron with that Force Nature Savage.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think RENMEN can pull through. Thijs has his combo ready, but he only has 1 whirlwind effect, which is just not very efficient. He's just lost the Death Spite. He's got 2 Enrages gone as well, so all the minions from the druid from now on should be too big a body for the patrons to be able to spawn anymore. So it could actually potentially turn out very awkward for Thijs. You might actually. Do you think he'll go for a draw? Just play the Acolyte, just hope for a draw after he executes this.
I don't like that. I think he's gonna have to go for the patron and take a chance here. I mean, it's desperate, but go for the Grommas, okay. I don't know though. Maybe would have liked for him to skip the Whirlwind. I feel like the Whirlwind is more important. Just go for the Execute and attack with 4-9.
Yeah, you keep your Grom. It becomes a 4-9 with charge. It doesn't get hit by BGH because BGH would really swing things away from Thijs. But he does get to force this instead of the patron. But he doesn't have the Whirlwind anymore, so that's a bit awkward.
Yeah, if you had the Whirlwind, still, I mean, it's obviously easy for us to tell seeing both sides of the hand, but he could have turned out better. Now we have the Frothing, something like maybe Frothing Acolyte. Have to come down. I mean, this is getting really close.
Yeah, I like Frothing Acolyte. If he baits out that Keeper this turn as well, it just gives another target for Grim Patron to build some dudes off. So that could be a good play here. Looking at both hands anyway. Oh, it's tough.
Yeah, it's a tough position. I mean, 1 weapon from Thijs. Now think about a Death Spite coming down, how much that would change things. But even just, let's look at the scenario. If we just had the Whirlwind, everything would be completely different. You could keep on drawing, have a lot more pressure in terms of the War Song.
I think
okay, RENMEN would be at like a 16 health, but still, I still think that would be better.
I think RENMEN would have still cleared the Grom with the Force Nature combo as well, because he wouldn't want to leave it there. So it would have worked out for him. So we're going to see the Keeper. Okay, so the Keeper actually makes things a little bit better. Oh, the swipe as well.
You just starve out Thijs here. He figures he's basically in top deck mode, so every card he denies is massive. Still, I mean, think about the scenario if you had a Whirlwind. This would be so much different. You could have had potentially even 3 patrons. But now he has to go for this. And what can RENMEN technically do. I mean,
This actually seems to work out pretty well for him because he's just seen the swipe on the Throbbing, so that's both swipes gone. Like this patron board specifically is very vulnerable to swipe because he's got so many 1/1s, but it doesn't really matter now. I don't think there's a lot he can do. He can heal, but
that's
it wouldn't
13.
be enough.
He's gonna take what, 12 back? You 1-off lethal? We went for the draw even for the long shot. Okay, goes to the wild growth again.
But what is the long shot with the draw? What do you draw into? You've
12, yeah. I mean,
2 Wraths gone, 2 swipes gone. You just lose.
so Thijs ended up taking this series 3-0. Well done to him, honestly. So we've seen a lot of 3-0s today. I think this is the 4th 3-0 we've had. It's either gone to game 3. There's 1-3-1, I guess, overall. But Thijs and Firebat taking down this group. Well played to Thijs.
Yeah, I would be really happy with himself. He looks really happy with himself. He got knocked into losers, which was unfortunate for him. But then he just steamrolled losers bracket, 3-0 everyone, and just shown how strong of a player he is. And his lineup worked out for him. It was excellent play from Taj. And it's unfortunate for RENMEN. It's always nice to see the underdog go through. It makes good stories on the other side of the bracket when they go into the final stages. But we do have Lostov there as well, so we still have a representative of the qualifiers. But congratulations to both Taj and Firebat for qualifying for the top 8, which will be starting in July, if I'm right. I don't know if I've got the dates to me right now.
1st and 2nd of July, yeah. But looking at, I mean, you had 4 qualified players, and 1 of them went through. That's about the average in the scenario. So qualified players, I guess, just kind of living up to the statistics there. So if we look at the players that went through to the round of 8 now, so we have Colento, we have Strifecrow, we have Lostov, we have Orange, we have Life Coach, Amas, Firebat, and Thijs. I can't stress how stacked this round of 8 is going to be.
Wow, that's a really stacked top 8. We have some of the best players in the world playing from both sides of the globe, from the EU side and the NA side. I would say we have 2 of the best NA players in that, as well as the best EU players. Colento, Life Coach, Taj is up there as well. It's so stacked.
Yeah, possibly even Lostov now with the follow-up there. So thank you guys for tonight. It's been an excellent time casting here. And see you for the round of 8. Good night, and see you soon.
You got spare game codes or any digital goods? There is a place you can sell them in less than 1 minute. Watch. Go to G2A.com. Click Start Selling. Fast Login. Go to My Account and click on Selling tab. Sell new item. Enter name, code, set a price. And done. G2A.com Digital Marketplace. Global selling simplified.
place, this turn up the bass. Have fun. How we blaze the fire, make it pun them, pun them, pun them. We mash up the place, this turn up the bass. And make some sound, why run? And fun, some fun. Relax. How we blaze the fire, make it burn them. We mash up the place, this turn up the bass. Have fun. How we blaze the fire, make it burn them, burn them, burn them. We mash up the place, this turn up the bass and make some sound.